Good morning and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 57 for Monday, October 16th, 2023. It's another week here on the David 3000 Network. We're happy that you're with us here for another week. And I, of course, am your host, Jason DeCanio. And we have a lot to cover in the next 2 hours. Some of it good, some of it not so good. And we'll definitely try to get you informed, inspired, entertained, and all the stuff that you need to get on with your day here as well. First up on the news today, it was breaking yesterday, and it was a sad day for the television industry. Suzanne Somers passes away at the age of 76 from breast cancer, just shy of her 77th birthday, which would have been today as well. So instead of celebrating a birthday, we're celebrating a memorial, and we'll look at Suzanne Somers' fantastic life later on in the program. And then today also is the 12th anniversary of the 100-year-old man who becomes the oldest person to run a marathon. Yeah, he eventually qualified and did everything he needed to do. And about 12 years ago, he ran the race and was one of the oldest participants in that race. And we'll give you the name of the guy who did that and all of the great details of that fantastic day 12 years ago. We'll also look at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, give you the idea and the breakdown that most news stations would not give you if you had traveled that far back. We will talk about this conflict and how it has shaped this war. But again, mind you, the Israelis are fighting for their lives. And I'll talk more about that in the editorial as well. We also have news of the weird. What day is today? Plus, of course, headlines, sports, and other important information. And, of course, the very important editorial at the end of the program. So, with all of that said, let's get to the headlines, sports, and other important information for Monday today, October 16th, 2023. And here we go with our news today. Blinken says the crossing to Egypt will open to aid as Israel prepares to strike Gaza. Israel's military said that it would continue to allow Gazians to evacuate south as hundreds of thousands had already moved. Israeli strikes on the Gaza Strip have killed more than 2,600 Palestinians. Scientists built the largest ever map of the human brain, and here's what they found. A new atlas of the human brain can help explain abilities like language and vulnerabilities like Alzheimer's disease. The Middle East crisis explained. The conflict between Israel and Palestinians and other groups in the Middle East goes back decades. These stories provide context for current developments and the history that led up to them. Pharmacy chain Rite Aid files for bankruptcy amid declining sales and opioid lawsuits. Rite Aid said it was arranging for payment of wages and other costs as usual, though some underperforming stores among its more than 2,100 pharmacies in 17 states will be closed. Daniel Noboa, heir to Banana Fortune, wins Ecuador's presidential runoff election. Inexperienced politician Daniel Noboa won Ecuador's presidential runoff election Sunday, held amid unprecedented violence that even claimed the life of a candidate. A 6-year-old boy was killed in an anti-Muslim attack in Illinois, authorities say. Law enforcement said the 71-year-old suspect who fatally stabbed a young boy and seriously wounded a woman was motivated by the Israeli-Hamas war. The suspect has been charged with a hate crime. And Suzanne Somers of Three's Company dies at the age of 76. The actor who played likable dumb blonde Chrissy Snow on the 70s sitcom had breast cancer for more than 20 years. The emotional impact of the Israel-Gaza conflict on Jewish and Palestinian Americans had been more than a week of war in Israel and Gaza following Hamas attacks in southern Israel that left more than 1,300 Israelis dead. In response, Israeli airstrikes in Gaza have killed more than 2,500 Palestinians, according to Gaza health officials. The intense violence and the prospect of more to come is having a deep emotional impact on people who care about both Israelis and Palestinians. Polish opposition leader Tusk declares win as ruling conservatives lose majority. At stake are Poland's legal stance on LGBTQ plus rights and abortion, and the foreign alliances of a country that has been a crucial ally to Ukraine after Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Pete Davidson talks on SNL about Israel-Hamas war and losing his dad on 9/11. In Saturday Night Live's first cold open in months, comedian Pete Davidson shared how he navigated tragedy as a son who lost his parent at a young age to mass violence. Powerful earthquake hits West Afghanistan. A week later, strong quakes in the same region. A powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck western Afghanistan on Sunday, just over a week after strong quakes killed thousands of people and flattened entire villages in the same region. Republican Jeff Landry wins the Louisiana governor's race, reclaims office for GOP. Attorney General Jeff Landry, a Republican backed by former President Donald Trump, has won the Louisiana governor's race, holding off a crowd field of candidates. A hotel worker's 3-hour commute tells the story of LA's housing crisis and her strike. Long commutes are a key reason why LA hotel workers have been on rolling strikes since early July, and they have a unique solution for hotels to help them. The Sunday story, a 15-minute climate solution, attracts conspiracies. 15-minute cities are an urban planning idea growing in popularity. The idea is that you can get to the key places in your life, think, work, education, food, recreation, in a 15-minute walk, bike, or transit ride. Now mayors from Paris to Cleveland are looking to use them to reduce planet heating, car pollution, and improve quality of life. Actor Piper Laurie, known for roles in Carrie and The Hustler, she died 2 days ago at the age of 91. She received Academy Award nominations for the 1961 pool room drama The Hustler, the horror classic Carrie in 1976, and the romantic drama Children of a Lesser God in 1986. Scenes from the rare Ring of Fire eclipse. Didn't catch that rare spectacle? We've rounded up some photos of the celestial event, snapped as the moon charted its path over U.S. skies 2 days ago. Netflix plans to open brick-and-mortar locations. The streamer plans to open physical stores dubbed Netflix House, offering retail, dining, and content-themed entertainment. It's unclear if they'll sell DVDs. Israel's military warns it will attack Gaza City very broadly soon. Israeli forces are planning a widespread offensive, but didn't say when the assault would happen. The announcement came as hundreds of thousands of Palestinians scrambled to leave northern Gaza. Conservative former businessman wins New Zealand election, set to be prime minister. Christopher Luxon will be the nation's prime minister after a decisive election victory. People voted for change after 6 years of a liberal government led for most of that time by Jacinda Ardern. Australia votes against creating an Indigenous panel to advise Parliament. Advocates for constitutional change in Australia said they were devastated by the defeat of a referendum that would have created a committee to offer advice on policies that affect Indigenous people. And Criminal Mastermind or Hapless Dude, a look into Sam Bankman-Fried's trial so far. The trial of the former FTX CEO concluded its second week, featuring explosive testimony from Caroline Ellison, a former girlfriend of Bankman-Fried. Inflation has a new victim, Girl Scout cookies. Many Girl Scout councils are raising the price of their popular cookies from $5 to $6 a box. The increase offers Girl Scouts and their customers a bittersweet lesson in inflation. And those are the stories for today. The headlines for October 16th, 2023. Well, the playoffs in baseball are just continuing to just shock everybody in all their craziness and everything. Right now, the Diamondbacks, they're going to the next phase of the playoffs. They beat the Diamondbacks on Wednesday, October 11th, 4-2 to advance. The Phillies, they also advanced, upsetting the Braves, and I'll have a little bit to say about that. Game one in the in the in the matchup against the Rangers and the Astros, the Rangers take game 1, 2-0 in our final yesterday. They go up 1-0 on the Astros. Game 2 is today at 4:37. Game 1, the Diamondbacks and the Phillies is tonight at 8:07. Game 2 will be tomorrow. So it's looking like almost a Texas, Arizona, Philly, Houston battle here to see who's going to the World Series. Whew. So lots to look at that rate. And sorry to say that the Dodgers, the Braves, you guys just did not prove you were anything there. And the Orioles, wow, didn't even show up for the playoffs. Great run, though, but they just could not get over the hump. All right, let's go now to the NHL. We have a lot of scores to look at from yesterday's games. Let's see what we have today. Really? Only 2 games? All right, we had a Saturday. Saturday's games look like this. The Senators 5, the Flyers 2. It was the Jets over the Panthers 6-4. Bruins win again, beat up on the Predators 3-2. It was the Red Wings upsetting the Lightning 6-4. Blue Jackets over the Rangers 5-3. The Penguins, they have home domination over the Flames 5-2. It was the Maple Leafs 7, the Wild 4. Canadians beat the Blackhawks 3-2. Islanders over the Sabres 3-2. The Kraken lose to the Blues 2-1. Avalanche take care of the Sharks in San Jose 2-1. It was the Canucks over the Oilers 4-3. The Golden Knights still continue on their winning ways, beating up on the Ducks 4-1. And the Hurricanes beat the Kings 6-5. Yesterday, Senators beat the Lightning 5-2. And the Ducks beat the Hurricanes 6-3. Tonight on the ice, you'll have the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets. Maple Leafs will go to Toronto. It's the Devils hosting the Panthers. The Capitals will host the Flames in Washington, and the Rangers will face off with the Coyotes at 7:00 tonight. We'll have more of those scores for you tomorrow. And of course, stay tuned for the NFL scores, full NFL scores tomorrow, because we still have Monday Night Football. But I must say, congratulations to the Jets on defeating the Philadelphia Eagles, giving them the first loss of the year. What a comeback for the green and white. They are proving that even at 3-3, they still have a chance to get ahead in the division and maybe win it. We'll see what happens. It should be interesting to see. Good morning, Jesse. Welcome to DMS 3000 Live. We hope that you are enjoying this program today, and we'll see what happens. We have NBA scores of preseason stuff for you as well. We're going to take care of that right now. Look at those real quick. Was the Warriors over the Kings in OT yesterday, 121-115. The Nuggets upset the Bulls, 116-102. The Lakers, they get their butts handed to them by the Milwaukee Bucks, 108-97. It was the Heat over the Grizzlies, 132-124. The Hornets, 117. The Thunder, 115. Preseason again, the Jazz beating the Trailblazers 138-133. And the Timberwolves over the Knicks 112. 121-112 was the Timberwolves over the Knicks. Pelicans lose to the Hawks 110-105. And the Warriors beat the Lakers 129-125. It was also the Spurs over the Heat 120-104. The Suns take care of the Trailblazers 122-111. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's all I've had so far. Yeah, lots of preseason stuff. and it just keeps going. This was back Thursday, October 12th. Okay, tonight's games, you've got the 76ers at Brooklyn at 7:30 tonight. Rockets going to go to San Antonio to play against the Spurs at 8 o'clock. 10 o'clock tonight, it's the Suns hosting the Trailblazers. Magic and Pelicans tomorrow at 7. Knicks and Celtics, 7:30 tomorrow. Raptors and Bulls at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Bucks and Thunder at 8 o'clock. Excuse me. And the Nuggets and the Clippers at 10:30 tomorrow. So that's a look, of course, at all of sports and headlines for today. We'll give you more great stuff tomorrow. Tell you what's going on with the full NFL matchups. It was a great week. We'll, of course, review that week in review tomorrow on DMS 3000 News Live. All right, coming up, we're going to be looking at News of the Weird. But first, a break, and then we'll come back and look at that fantastic News of the Weird for this week, as Andrew's McMeel syndication gives you another great look at what's going on in the weird news. We'll be right back.
Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens. Candy, party decorations, masks, costumes, makeup. Everything you need for Halloween fun now at Walgreens.
Ever hear of a gift certificate that turns into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what's that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1. And can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody.
I'm Freddy Krueger, and you're invited to my special get-together. But beware, you may never leave. Dial this number now. I've got some grisly details for you. And if you're one of my lucky callers selected at random, you'll talk to me live while you're awake and safe. So dial this number now if you dare. Talk to me live. Freddy Krueger is waiting just for you.
$2 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
For Halloween, Toys R Us doesn't miss a trick, and the prices are a treat. We've got costumes for all Toys R Us kids, even grown-ups, and loads of candy, makeup, masks, and more. Toys R Us will make your Halloween supernatural.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
Tales of horror that will give you the creeps.
This is going to be extremely painful, Mr. Verrill.
The most fun you'll ever have being scared. Creep Show. Rated R.
Now playing at a theater near you.
Granola dip. I really dip. Granola dip. Chocolate and granola already in my whole granola dip.
Quaker Granola Dips, a hauntingly wholesome Halloween treat. Chewy granola dipped in real milk chocolate.
Chocolate and granola, lose my self-control at granola dip.
The perfect treat for your little monsters.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where?
And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible!
Pumpkin. I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night.
They're back, all the little Peanuts characters, in a happy Halloween special filled with ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
It's time now for News of the Weird, and we're ready to go as Andrews McMeel syndication gives you for the week of October 13th, 2023. And you notice that all of our commercials from here on out through the next 2 weeks will be Halloween themed. Our lead story for this News of the Weird is In Search of a Hero. Some people are just desperate to get behind an underdog. So it seems with the members of a Facebook group called Chair Watch, who have locked in on an unlikely subject. A chair hanging from the top floor of a roofless abandoned home in Dennis Township, New Jersey. One day it will come down, but until then, we all must drive by and look at the chair in all its mesmerizing glory. The group's description says, according to United Press International, how long can it last? Will it blow down before the entire house falls down? Things we all want to know and don't want to know at the same time because it will ruin the fun. The group has attracted almost 10,000 followers, one of whom, Donna Marie O'Leary, commented that she hasn't enjoyed this much fun since Christie was governor and closed the beach. Jeez. In 1995, the Seattle Times reported filmmaker Jerry Fialka of Los Angeles started a book club with an unconventional schedule. Members read the notoriously difficult Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce, one page at a time. They just finished on October 3rd. We do one page at a time and then discuss it for 2 hours, Fialka said. That's why it's taken us 28 years. When people ask what his book club is going to read next, he tells them, we're never going to read another book. He explained that the book ends with a run-on sentence on page 628, which then continues on the first page of text. So it's a cyclical book. It never ends. We'll read page 3 again next. Since the pandemic, the club has been meeting via Zoom, which Fialka says he likes better than in person. I don't have to set up chairs, he said. In this week's edition of We Don't Pay Teachers Enough, Stephen Taylor, an educator at the Mill Creek Campus Alternative School in Olathe, Kansas, lost his job over videos he posted to TikTok, Fox 4 TV reported. In the videos, Taylor, who also does stand-up comedy, said he saved up his big, milky, lactose-intolerant gas and dropped bombs silently, and then I just let it stew. Ugh. He also claimed that he gives students misinformation when they annoy him. I tell them Abraham Lincoln invented the car. That's why it's named after him. When Taylor was called before the school board, he told members, the reason I'm doing comedy on TikTok is to make money because you only pay me $45,000 a year and I work all the time. Taylor said the students understand his jokes, but he was relieved of his duties nonetheless and has no plan to return to teaching. Fourth graders at the Academy of Inventive Education Charter School in Miami Springs, Florida, got to choose a movie to watch during lunch on October 2nd. CBS News Miami reported. They unknowingly chose Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, a 2023 horror film about two murderers who prey on university students while wearing Pooh and Piglet costumes. The teacher didn't stop the movie, even though the kids were saying, hey, stop the movie. We don't want this, said parent Michelle Diaz. She said her twins were traumatized. The school later issued a statement saying they have already met with those students who have expressed concerns. Oh, brother. Oh bother. 28-year-old Lenny Rodriguez Cruz topped off a busy night of crime with an assault on a police officer. On September 20th, the Associated Press reported, Cruz was allegedly driving a car with license plates that didn't match in Queens, New York, when an officer tried to pull him over. Cruz instead raced off, driving on a sidewalk and through a park and hitting 4 other vehicles, including a police car, before crashing. His breath smelled of alcohol, and there was a cup with an alcoholic beverage in the car, police said. But it was back at the station where Cruz sealed his fate. He bit off an officer's left ring finger up to the first knuckle. The Queens District Attorney said he could be looking at 25 years in prison. Wow. And while they're at it, why don't they go ahead and shave down his teeth so they're not so sharp? A family outing to the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center in Glen Rose, Texas, got all awkward when a giraffe lost its footing and crashed into the windshield of Kari Hill's car. Whoa! Fox 7 TV reported. The park allows people to drive through in their own cars and feed the animals. As Hill and her family communed with a giraffe, it stuck its head through her sunroof and smiled for a picture. But then the animal slipped and fell, became panicked, and started flailing its legs. After it recovered and ran off, Hill realized her windshield was shattered. No one was hurt, but they were covered with glass. Hill said when she filed an insurance claim, it was hard for them as anyone not to laugh, but they were professional. Wow. Lincoln County, Oklahoma District Judge Tracy Soderstrom, who was sworn in on January 9th, may already be out of a job, the Associated Press reported. In July, Soderstrom was captured on a court camera scrolling through social media and texting on her phone for minutes at a time during a trial. Soderstrom's text to her bailiff included comments on jurors and prosecutors' appearances and calling a police officer who was testifying pretty and saying, "I could look at him all day." She was suspended with pay pending a hearing by the court on the judiciary. I hate that word, judiciary. The Chief Justice of the Oklahoma Supreme Court recommended her removal, and the pattern of conduct demonstrates Soderstrom's gross neglect of duty, gross partiality, and oppression, he said. Ugh. Wow. Townsfolk in Skelmorley, Scotland. Wow, these are tough words today. Are getting their Halloween on as a Pennywise-type clown lurks around the streets, Sky News reported, leaving red balloons in his wake. It, yeah, right? Early on October 12th, the clown, who may or may not be someone named Cole Demos, posted a message to the media in rhyme. They called me Killer Clown. Why don't you leave the jokes to me? The only thing that's dying is your credibility. This clown doesn't want fame, glory, or gold. He just wants to play in this so-called sleepy town. So come join in and learn to fear the Skelmorley Clown. Wow. Skelmorley Clown. Police haven't received any reports of crimes, and Facebook followers are gleeful. Out of all the clowns in the village, he's the best. Right, okay. 76-year-old Daniel Powell got a rude response on October 8th when talking with his mobile home park neighbor, 28-year-old Callie Robertson, in Pinellas Park, Florida. The Smoking Gun reported, according to police, Robertson took an unsecured bag of dog feces and pushed it into Powell's face, leaving feces smeared on his face. Robertson admitted to the assault, but pleaded not guilty to the third-degree felony. She posted a $2,500 bond. And finally, 60-year-old Amal Hanna will not be charged with driving under the influence, News 12 TV reported, after an October 4th incident in which she mistakenly guzzled a White Claw during her shift as a school bus driver in Smithtown, New York. Hannah said she is undergoing chemotherapy, which has affected her sense of taste, and she had no idea there was alcohol in the hard seltzer. Ooh, I have been crying and crying. I don't even have any more tears. It was just a mistake, Hannah said, and while she won't face legal action, she did lose her job. So send your weird news items with subject line Weird News to weirdnewstips@amuniversal.com for news of the weird at Andrews McMeel syndication. We, of course, will look at news of the weird next Monday on DMS 3000 News Live. All right, 8:30 is the time. Right now, we're also going to be looking at what day is today. What holiday is today? What do we've got? Oh, what's good? Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see. National Department Store Day. Here's a good one for all you people over 21. This is National Liqueur Day. Yes. Okay, liqueurs are basically alcoholic beverages made from distilled spirits with lots of added flavors. Some call them cordials, while others call them schnapps. They all add up to different varieties of liqueurs. Maraschino, orange, coffee, sweet or sour, it doesn't matter the flavor to be celebrated. Grab your liqueur of choice and toast a friend on October 16th as we celebrate National Liqueur Day. So, in the 1300s, the liqueurs made their appearance in medicine. European monks administered liqueurs descending from herbal medicines. 1533, liqueur was introduced to the French court. Catherine de' Medici married Henry II of France and introduced liqueur to the French court, making it a fashionable drink. 1640, British Indian spice trade route was opened. As international trade routes opened, the variety of liqueur flavors increased, including ginger, orange, and chocolate. And statistics in 2018 reveal a hike in cordial consumption. Over 1.14 million households in the United States have liqueur consumers. Yeah, it's true. So today, sample a cordial. Pick up a few interesting flavors, stock up on flavorful mixers, and host a cordial sampler party with your pals. Hosting not your thing? Visit a local restaurant that offers an after-dinner cordial menu and ask the bartender for recommendations. And find a liqueur distillery that piques your interest and plan a trip. Learn the process of creating a liqueur, the rich history behind this delectable drink, and sample one firsthand, fresh from the source. And make your own. Fancy yourself creative. There are plenty of DIY liquor recipes out there. All you really need are a base liquor, a flavor of your choosing, and simple syrup. From there, it's an easy process to produce your own cordial. Here are 4 must-have liqueurs to stock your bar. Wind down with a coffee liqueur. Enjoy the flavor without all the caffeine. When you mix a coffee liqueur with your favorite vodka and cream for the perfect White Russian. Sweeten your favorite bourbon with cherry liqueur, fresh lemon juice, and simple syrup for a refreshing take on a warm classic. And shake up your margarita with an orange liqueur. Don't rely on margarita mixes for that perfect tangy sweet balance when you can mix your smoothest tequila with an orange liqueur and fresh lime juice. And enjoy your coffee on the Irish side. Add a little Irish cream liqueur to your hot or iced latte for an extra indulgent flavor. And why we love this day? Well, maybe you're a coffee liqueur guy or an orange liqueur gal. On National Liqueur Day, we celebrate all the flavors. Yet this is a fun day to celebrate diversity by stepping outside our comfort zones and ordering from a different section of the cordial menu. We can try berry, flower, herbal, creme, or one of the many other genres of liqueur. And what better way to celebrate National Liqueur Day than to break the trend of meeting over coffees or dinner and flip the script on the social outing. We can grab our friends and toast with a cordial nightcap alongside a rich dessert. And we can learn about the history of liqueur. Sure, history isn't everyone's favorite subject, but when it involves delicious alcoholic beverages, we might find it more interesting. Like how liqueurs are descendants from herbal remedies dating back to the 13th century monks. We can read up on our favorite cordials and spice up post-dinner conversations. There you have it. National Liqueur Day. Good stuff. Let's see what else we have. Anything food-wise? Doesn't look like it is today. Okay. Nothing big else going on in the holidays today. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, our first headline of the day, as we'll look at Suzanne Summers passing at the age of 76 from breast cancer. We'll be right back.
10 singers, 9 singers.
Everyone wants to zap gold cake with vanilla frosting, devil's food with chocolate, raspberry with coconut, all with cream centers.
These ones sing your two zap.
Right now, in specially marked bonus packs, you'll find a pumpkin decorating kit and 2 extra zingers.
Trick or treat.
1 trick and 2 treats from Dolly Madison.
My big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss.
Hershey's Kisses, the little kiss with the big taste.
Hallmark's ready for Halloween, and you know, it's the strangest thing. Everybody's wild about new scratch and sniff stickers in special trick-or-treat packages, and they're dying to take home these cuddly pumpkin bean bags. And these party decorations are so popular, they seem to just disappear. So come to Hallmark, the Halloween store. We're waiting for you.
Goblins, werewolves, vampires. They're not real, but he is a real nightmare. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. It's the night he came home. Halloween 2, Thursday at 8 on Channel 17. Parental discretion advised.
I knew I should have worn a costume. Yo, Bo Peep, what you got in your bag?
Introducing Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal. 2 plump and juicy pieces of fried chicken, hot, crisp fries, and a fresh baked biscuit. Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal, just $1.99.
Don't you even think about it.
They are the children of the corn. They must obey he who walks among the rows. They live in a world where adults are not allowed to live. Children of the corn. A new kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
Halloween's coming. What are you going to do about it? Whether you do a little or a lot, be an original this Halloween and find yourself at Hallmark.
Hallmark has a way.
And at participating Hallmark stores, get your hands on the Spooky Sounds tape, full of creepy sounds and Halloween theme songs. $1.95 with any $5 Hallmark purchase, only at participating Hallmark stores. It's a scream.
The Halloween Hall of Fame will continue after these messages.
The Halloween experts at Magic Manor have everything you'll need this year, including actual character masks from famous motion pictures. And they can show you the proper application of makeup to impress that special someone. Magic Manor's professional hand-painted custom masks start as low as $2.50. This Halloween, remember Magic Manor. Wigs, masks, makeup, costumes, shockingly authentic. Magic Manor, East Wind Mall.
Suzanne Summers passed away yesterday at the age of 76 from breast cancer. A sad day in television history as we lost one of our favorite actresses on the hit comedy show Three's Company and, of course, Step by Step. And we'll look at Suzanne Summers' fantastic life. She was an American actress, author, singer, businesswoman, and health spokesperson. She was cast in the television role of Chrissy Snow on Three's Company from 77 to 81. And as Carol Foster Lambert on Step by Step from 1991 to 1998. Summers later wrote several books, including 2 autobiographies, 4 diet books, and a book of poetry. Her book, Ageless, The Naked Truth About Bioidentical Hormones, about bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and the Wiley Protocol, Controversial Treatments for Menopausal Women, was heavily criticized. Her book, Knockout, in 2009, which promoted alternative cancer treatments, was criticized by the American Cancer Society. Suzanne Marie Mahoney, born in San Bruno, California on October 16th, which was today, 1946, as the third of 4 children in a working-class Irish-American Catholic family. Her mother, Marion Elizabeth, was a medical secretary, and her father, Francis Mahoney, was a laborer and gardener. Her father was an alcoholic and was abusive. Summers often was worried that she would be killed by her father. Summers was a bedwetter until age 12, which led to additional abuse from her father. She first attended Mercy High School in Burlingame, California, but had trouble with her schoolwork due to dyslexia and her father's all-night rages, and she would often fall asleep in class. At school, she performed in the lead role of HMS Pinafore. She was expelled at age 14 for writing sexually suggestive notes to a boy, which were never sent. When she was 17, Summers' father ripped off her prom dress and told her that she was nothing. She responded by hitting him in the head with a tennis racket. In 1964, Summers graduated from Capuchino High School in San Bruno, California, where she won the Best Doll Award for her role in the senior musical Guys and Dolls and helped organize her class's senior ball. She then attended Lone Mountain College, a college run by the Catholic Society of the Sacred Heart Order, but dropped out in 1965 when she found out she was pregnant. She married her child's father, Bruce Summers, days later at age 19. Her situation led to low self-esteem. She was arrested for check fraud and had her car impounded. After divorcing in 1968 to support herself, she worked as a prize model on The Anniversary Game, a game show hosted by Alan Hamill. Although he was already married, they began dating, and she had an affair with him that led to an abortion. They married in 1977. She began acting in small roles during the late 60s and early 70s, including on various talk shows promoting her book of poetry and bit parts in movies such as The Blonde and the White Thunderbird in American Graffiti, which led to appearances on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. She appeared in an episode of the American version of the sitcom Lots of Luck as the femme fatale in the early 1970s. She also appeared in The Rockford Files in 1974 and had an uncredited role as a topless pool girl in Magnum Force in 1973. She also had a guest starring role on The $6 Million Man in the 1977 episode Cheshire Project. She played a passenger on the first episode of The Love Boat, as well as had a guest appearance in a 1976 episode of One Day at a Time. In 1977, she was a celebrity panelist on Match Game and appeared with her husband Alan Hamill on Tattletales. After actresses Suzanne Zenner and Susan Lanier did not impress producers during the first 2 pilot episodes of the ABC sitcom Three's Company, Summers was suggested by ABC president Fred Silverman, who had seen her in her initial appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Silverman hired her the day before the taping of the 3rd and final pilot commenced. Summers portrayed Chrissy Snow, who exemplified many blonde stereotypes and was employed as an office secretary. At first, Summers made $3,500 per week from the show. The series co-starred John Ritter and Joyce DeWitt in a comedy about 2 single women living with a single man who pretended to be gay in order to bypass the landlord's policy of prohibiting single men sharing an apartment with single women. The program was an instant success in the Nielsen ratings, eventually spawning a short-lived spin-off series, The Ropers, starring Norman Fell and Audra Lindley. When Three's Company began its 5th season in late 1980, Summers demanded a salary increase from $30,000 to $150,000 per episode to match the compensation paid to Ritter, as well as 10% of the show's profits. Summers' ask was influenced by Hamill. ABC was only willing to offer a $5,000 per episode raise, and Summers then refused to appear in the 2nd and 4th episodes of the season, citing excuses such as a broken rib. She finished the remaining season of her contract. However, her role was decreased to just 60 seconds per episode, with her character only appearing in the episode's closing tag, in which Chrissy calls the trio's apartment from her parents' home. After ABC fired her from the program and terminated her contract, Summers sued the network for $2 million, saying her credibility in show business had been damaged. The lawsuit was settled by an arbitrator who decided Summers was owed only $30,000 due to a single missed episode for which she had not been paid. Future rulings also favored the network and producers. Summers said she was fired for asking to be paid as much as popular male television stars. And then in 1983, through her Hamill Summers Productions, she signed a deal with Columbia Pictures Television. Summers and her Three's Company co-star John Ritter reconciled their friendship after 20 years of not speaking to each other shortly before Ritter's death in 2003. She appeared in 2 Playboy cover feature nude pictorials in 1980 and 84. Her first set of nude photos was taken by Stan Malakowski in February of 1970, when Summers was a struggling model and actress and did a test photo shoot for the magazine. She was accepted as a Playmate candidate in 1971, but declined to pose nude before the actual shoot. During an appearance of The Tonight Show in 1980, she denied ever posing nude, except for a high society topless photo. This prompted Playboy to publish photos from the 70 Milanowski shoot without her permission. And Summers' original motivation for posing nude was to be able to pay medical bills related to injuries her son Bruce Jr. suffered in a car accident. By the time the photos were published, her son was 14, and Summers feared seeing his mother posing nude would be difficult for him. Summers sued Playboy and settled for $50,000, which was donated to charity, with at least $10,000 of it going to Easter Seals. The second nude pictorial by Richard Fegley appeared in December of 1984 in an attempt by Summers to regain her diminished popularity after the Three's Company debacle in 1981. Despite her anger and the earlier lawsuit, Playboy approached her earlier that year to pose nude a second time. Initially, she was angered again, but eventually agreed after discussing it with her family. She felt she would have a better chance to control the quality of the photos the second time, and having such control was an important condition that Summers attached to posing. Despite Summers' earlier belief that her son would not want to see his mother nude, her then 18-year-old son did view the second pictorial. In the 1980s, Summers lived in Las Vegas and was an entertainer, headlining at the former MGM Grand, now the Horseshoe Las Vegas, for 2 years until the theater burned down, and then at the Las Vegas Hilton, now Westgate Las Vegas, for another 2.5. In the early 80s, Summers performed for U.S. servicemen overseas. From 87 to 89, Summers starred in the sitcom She's the Sheriff, which ran in first-run syndication. Summers portrayed a widow with 2 young kids who decided to fill the shoes of her late husband, a sheriff of a Nevada town. The show ran for 2 seasons. In 1990, she returned to network television, appearing in numerous guest roles in made-for-TV movies, mostly for ABC. Her roles in these, including the movie Rich Men, Single Women, attracted the attention of Lorimar Television and Miller Boyett Productions, who were developing a new sitcom. She had starred in the film with Heather Locklear, who inadvertently directed the focus of both production companies to Summers due to Locklear's starring role on Going Places from Lorimar and Miller Boyett. For Lorimar, this was asking Summers back since they alone had produced She's the Sheriff. September 1991. She returned to the series television in the sitcom Step by Step with Patrick Duffy, who became a success on ABC's youth-oriented TGIF lineup. In the early 90s, Summers was the spokeswoman in a series of infomercials for the Thigh Master, a piece of exercise equipment which is squeezed between one's thighs above the knees. In 1991, a 2-hour biopic of Summers starring the actress herself, entitled Keeping Secrets, based on her first autobiography of the same title, was broadcast on ABC. The movie chronicled Summers' troubled family life and upbringing, along with her subsequent rise to fame. 1994, she launched a daytime talk show titled Suzanne Summers. It lasted one season. Step by Step continued on ABC until the end of its sixth season in 1997, when the series moved to CBS for what turned out to be its final season. From 97 to 99, she co-hosted the revised Candid Camera show when CBS revived it with Peter Funt. Summers stayed for 2 years before PAX TV renewed the series without her. 2000s, she appeared on the Home Shopping Network for more than 25 hours per month, selling household items. In the summer of 2005, Summers made her Broadway theater debut in a one-woman show, The Blonde in the Thunderbird, a collection of stories about her life and career. The show was supposed to run until September, but was canceled in less than a week after poor reviews and disappointing ticket sales. She blamed the harsh reviews. The New York Times referred to it as a drab and embarrassing display of emotional exhibitionism masquerading as entertainment. She compared her treatment by critics with the treatment of soldiers in the Iraq War, prompting even more criticism. In 2012, she began an online talk show, Suzanne Summers Breaking Through, at Cafe Mom. 3 of the episodes featured a reunion and reconciliation with former Three's Company co-star Joyce DeWitt. The two had not seen nor spoken to each other in 31 years. Summers and DeWitt briefly discussed John Ritter and how glad they were they both had spoken with him shortly before his sudden death. In the fall of 2012, The Suzanne Show, hosted by Summers, aired for a 13-episode season on the Lifetime network. Summers welcomed various guests covering a wide range of topics related to health and fitness. February 24th, 2015, Summers was announced as one of the stars participating on the 20th season of Dancing with the Stars. Her partner was professional dancer Tony Dovolani. Summers and Dovolani were eliminated on the 5th week of competition and finished in 9th place. In May and June of 2015, Summers starred in Suzanne Sizzles at the Westgate, Las Vegas. Summers supported bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Her book, Ageless, included interviews with 16 practitioners of bioidentical hormone therapy, but gives extra discussion to one specific approach that she advocated, the Wiley Protocol, for which she was criticized. A group of 7 doctors, all of whom utilize bioidentical hormone therapies to address health issues in women, issued a public letter to Summers and her publisher, Crown Publishing Group, in which they stated that the protocol is scientifically unproven and dangerous and cite Wiley's lack of medical and clinical qualifications. Summers appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, where she was praised by Oprah Winfrey for her views, although bad press followed. In 2001, Summers was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had a lumpectomy and radiation, but declined to undergo chemotherapy. November of 2008, she announced she was diagnosed with inoperable cancer by 6 doctors, but she learned a week later that she was misdiagnosed. During this time, she interviewed doctors about cancer treatments, and these interviews became the basis of her book, Knockout, in 2009, about alternative treatments to chemotherapy. In her book, Knockout, Summers promoted alternative cancer treatments, for which she was criticized by the American Cancer Society. In regard to the water fluoridation controversy, Summers called fluoride a toxic waste byproduct of the aluminum manufacturers. Then in January of 2013, she suggested that the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was implemented by Adam Lanza due to the level of toxins in his diet and the household cleaners he was exposed to. Summers married Bruce Summers in 1965. They had a son, Bruce Jr., in November of 65. After divorcing in 68 to support herself, she worked as a prize model, as you know. In 71, her son, then 6 years old, was hit by a car. The resulting trauma led her to seek therapy for both her and her son, where she discovered that she had very low self-esteem. She had hyperplasia in her 20s, skin cancer in her 30s. In April of 2000, Summers was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer and had a lumpectomy. Summers was photographed leaving a plastic surgery clinic in 2001. She later admitted to having had liposuction on her upper back and hips. 3 years ago, Summers fractured her hip when she jumped out of a private tram to her house. And in July of 2023, her cancer returned. She died at her home in Palm Springs, California, yesterday, October 15th, 2023, the day before her 77th birthday. Happy birthday, Suzanne Summers. Thank you for a wonderful, long time here, entertaining us and giving us great stuff to look forward to. We miss you very much. When we come back, we'll look at the 12th anniversary of the 100-year-old man who becomes the oldest person to run a marathon. And then later on, we'll look at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. All of this and much more when we come back on DMS 3000 News Live.
Hey, Ronald, what are those things you're wearing?
My trick-or-treat safety cups. They're shiny aluminum foil with bright orange stripes, so they reflect light.
Neat! Where'd you get them?
Right at McDonald's. This Halloween, be sure you're all wearing McDonald's trick-or-treat safety cups. Children should be seen and not hurt.
Make Halloween fun with one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-sized candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Woolco.
This Halloween, give the safe treat
Thank you.
that helps treat the disabled.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons.
Thank you.
Good for special treats at local stores and restaurants.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons
Thank you.
and give the treat that gives treatment.
Thank you.
Safe Halloween booklets are now available at these fine stores. Support a safe Halloween for children everywhere.
Halloween's a perfect time for baking spooky cookies. Just roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake and decorate, then feed them to your goblins. So much fun there.
Scary.
This Halloween, capture your ghosts and goblins on genuine Kodak film from Thrifty. Whether it's print, slide, or movie film, Kodak is the choice of professionals. Thrifty carries a full line of Kodak film, including C126-24 exposure, C110 and C135 24 exposure in regular and high-speed print film, KR135 36 exposure slide film, and Super 8 movie film. Remember, the sharper you want your memories, the more you need Kodak film and Thrifty.
I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, bat bones, and toad toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
I just had the greatest idea. Let's spend the night. Fun house.
This better be good.
It's gonna be great.
Something is alive in the fun house. Something deadly. Something evil.
I don't know what that thing is.
Something that tonight will turn the fun house into a carnival of terror. The Fun House, rated R, starts Friday at a theater near you.
Last year, one of everyone's favorite candies appeared in a Halloween-sized pack.
Skittles.
And word spread quickly.
Is this the house that gives Skittles? See, I told ya.
I, Speedy McGreedy, have created Frankenstein Mouth.
I want juicy burgers.
We'll go to Hardee's.
The burgers are juicy and hearty.
Right, Ivan. Hardee's job roils them.
Let's say hello to Hardee's.
It's Halloween time. When you buy a burger and soft drink at Hardee's, you get a coin to put in the fun machine, which gives you a Halloween prize.
I got a creepy crawly Halloween thing. I got a Halloween ring.
The fun machine at participating Hardee's. Wednesday, it's a hair-raising Halloween happening.
Can't she begin it?
First, that Emmy-winning Fat Cat. It's the trick-or-treat trail.
I'm no scaredy cat.
It's all new Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Then,
I hear the Great Pumpkin.
the Halloween classic, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, right after Garfield, Wednesday.
Toys R Us has the Big Bird Halloween costume and the Yoda Halloween costume for trick-or-treating.
Vaja Singh is the 100-year-old man who became the oldest person to run a marathon. Now he is a retired marathon runner in Punjabi Indian descent. He has beaten a number of world records in multiple age brackets, but none of his times have been ratified as records. His personal best time for the London Marathon back in 2003 is 6 hours and 2 minutes, and his marathon best claimed for the 90-plus age bracket is 5 hours, 40 minutes at the alleged age of 92 at the 2003 Toronto Waterfront Marathon. Well, he claims to have been born in Bees Pin, Jalandhar, Punjab, British India on April 1st of 1911, the youngest of 4 children, and he did not walk until he was 5 years old. His legs were thin and weak, and he could hardly walk long distances. Because of this, he was often teased and was called by his nickname Danda, which is Punjabi for stick, for the next 10 years. And as a young man, he was an avid amateur runner, but he gave it up at the time of the partition of India. It was only after witnessing the death of his son, Kuldip, of his 5th son, in a construction accident on August 1994, that he returned to his passion for running in 1995. The death of his wife in 92 and his eldest daughter, who had died from complications after giving birth to his 3rd granddaughter, gave him the determination for this new focus in life. He emigrated to England in the 1990s and lives with one of his sons in Ilford. At 89 years, he took seriously to running and ended up in international marathon events. When he first turned up for training at Redbridge Exis, he was dressed in a 3-piece suit. The coach had to rework everything, including his attire. He ran his first race, the London Marathon, in 2000, and according to his coach, he used to run up to 20 kilometers easily and wanted to run a marathon, thinking it to be just 26 kilometers and not 26 miles, which is 42 kilometers. It was after he realized this that he began training seriously. Then at the age of 93, he completed a marathon in 6 hours and 54 minutes, 58 minutes quicker than the world best for the 90-plus age bracket. In 2004, he was featured in an advertising campaign for sportswear manufacturer Adidas alongside David Beckham and Muhammad Ali. Singh bettered the UK records for the 200-meter, 400, 800 mile, and 3,000 meter for his claimed age group, all within a single 94-minute period, but they are not currently listed as records. At the age of 100, he attempted and accomplished 8 world age group records in one day at the Special Ontario Masters Association Fuja Singh Invitational Meet, held at Birchmont Stadium in Toronto, Canada. Timed by officials in Canada, he ran the 100 meters in 23.14 seconds, 200 meters in 52.23, the 400 in 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 48 seconds. I'm sorry, 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Yeah. And the 800 meters in 5 hours of 32. Yeah. 5:32:18, and the 1,500 meters in 11:27:81, the mile in 11:53:45, and the 3,000 meters in 24:52:47, and the 5,000 meters in 49:57:39, setting 5 world records for his age group in one day. Some events had no previous record holder, as nobody over age 100 had ever attempted the distance. Some of his marks are significantly superior to the listed world record in the M95 age group as well. 3 days later, on the 16th of October, 2011, he was acclaimed to have become the first 100-year-old to finish a marathon, completing the Toronto Waterfront Marathon in 8 hours, 11 minutes, and 6 seconds. As it took him over 14 minutes after the gun to cross the starting line, the official time submitted and declined for the age group record was 8 hours, 25 minutes, 17 seconds. Guinness World Records refused to include Singh in its record book because he could not produce his birth certificate to prove his age. Birth records were not kept in India in 1911, although Singh was able to produce a passport listing his date of birth as April 1st, 1911, and a letter from Queen Elizabeth II congratulating him on his 100th birthday. In October of 2011, he's a vegetarian. He became the oldest man to be featured in a PETA campaign, a PETA campaign. In July of 2012, he carried the Olympic torch. He has stated that he would retire from competitive running after taking part in the Hong Kong Marathon on February 24th of 2013, 5 weeks shy of his 102nd birthday. He completed the 10-kilometer run at the Hong Kong Marathon in 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 28 seconds, and said that he intends to continue running for pleasure, health, and charity. He was awarded the British Empire Medal in the 2015 New Year honors for services to sport and charity. Singh is 1.72 meters. He's 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighs 115 pounds. He attributes his physical fitness and longevity to abstaining from smoking and alcohol and to following a simple vegetarian diet. He has been quoted as saying, "I am very careful about different foods. My diet is simple. Fulka, dal, green vegetables, yogurt, and milk. I do not touch parathas, pakoras, rice, or any other fried food. I take lots of water and tea with ginger. I go to bed early taking the name of my Rabba, God, as I don't want all those negative thoughts crossing my mind." And speaking about the marathon, he said, "The first 20 miles are not difficult. As for the last 6, I run while talking to God." As of April 2023, Fajr no longer runs himself, but still enjoys cheering on marathon runners at events. He is the eldest of the group of 6 who call themselves Six in the City. There were 3 other 6 aged 79, 79, and 80 in the Golden Oldies team, which ran the Edinburgh Marathon Relay in 2009. The SITC running group are now a well-established team based in East London, running marathons across the world with interfaith groups and raising money for Fauja Singh's charities. His biography, titled Turbaned Tornado, was formally released in the Adelaide Room of Britain's House of Lords on July 7, 2011, by Lord Anthony Young of Norwood Green and retired British Crown Court Judge Sir Mota Singh. The book was written by Chandigarh-based columnist and writer Khushwant Singh. And there you have it, friends. Fauja Singh, the man who basically, at 100 years of age, runs a marathon and proves to the world that no matter how old you are, you can still accomplish a lot of things well into your old age life. There you have it, friends. Another great story now marks 12 years to the date. And Fauja Singh, wherever you are, and I know that according to the sources, he's still alive today, doing everything he can. He's probably going to be one of the oldest people ever to be alive on the earth. With that being said, it doesn't matter. When God wants you, he will have you, and be ready for it. In the meantime, take everything you can, ingest it all, and enjoy life for what it is. We'll be right back. When we come back, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict right here on DMS 3000 News Live. right after this.
What strange creatures are lurking in the night? Ah, skull face, mummy face too. Oh, ghoul face. What a frightful sight. Yes, Mom, this Halloween your kids can have fun creating their own scary disguise with Kooky Spooks makeup. They just smear it on. When the makeup dries, it cracks to make them look really old and ghoulish. Add in the sheet and the costume's complete. Kooky Spooks makeup kits, 6 frightening disguises to choose from.
Stephen King, author of Carrie Said, Evil Dead, is the most ferociously original horror film of the year. If you think he's kidding, see for yourself. Evil Dead. They got up on the wrong side of the grave. Evil Dead from New Line Cinema.
Starts tomorrow at these theaters. Check newspapers for times.
I think you'll like this house. Isn't this supposed to be haunted? Haunted? What an absurd idea. So, I mean, what would a ghost be doing here? Haunted.
David. No other diet soft drink delivers the real cola taste of 1-calorie Diet Coke. The real one. It's lifting more and more spirits every day.
Just for the taste of it.
The move is on to Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Watch out for him.
It started to happen again.
Dad!
I'm in trouble.
You've had some scary dreams, okay? Help!
Daddy can't help you now. Freddy is back on Elm Street, and he's not a welcome visitor. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2. Freddy's Revenge. Rated R from New Line Cinema.
Now showing at a theater near you.
As Halloween approaches, you have to prepare yourself for what might happen.
More orange sprinkles.
It's a special time of year, and Dunkin' Donuts is dressing up their donuts for the occasion.
And here's the werewolf.
So come to Dunkin' Donuts and get into the spirit of Halloween.
We'd like some Halloween donuts, please.
Oh.
Anything could happen tonight with Mickey Mouse and M&M's candies. Everything's gonna be just right. A special time for fun and M&M's from Mickey Mouse and friends. The magic never ends. Grab on to that M&M's feeling.
My little goblins will be out long after dark, so I depend on Duracell batteries to light their way, because Duracell lasts longer.
Tests prove after just a few hours of continuous use, regular carbon batteries wear out. But you can get up to 5 times more use from Duracell batteries.
That's why I trust my kids' safety at night to Duracell.
Duracell. The copper top battery. No regular battery looks like it.
We're home! Or lasts like it.
It's Halloween, the night he came home, when the deepest fears are made real, when the darkest nightmares come true, when the most courageous soul cowers in the face of evil. First time on TV, the modern horror classic from John Carpenter. Parental discretion advised. This film contains elements of shock and suspense. And now, Halloween, you won't be watching alone.
You think I'm mad, don't you? Perhaps we're both mad.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 57 here on this Monday, October 16th, 2023. We are officially 15 days to Halloween, which is about 2 weeks. And tomorrow will actually be 2 weeks from tomorrow will actually be Halloween officially. And we'll be celebrating Halloween on that day, giving you all of the history that Halloween has to offer and what it's really about. And it's not just about going out there, getting juiced up on candy and dressing up with costumes. There is a trick to it, and we'll give you the lowdown all about that coming up later on in the weeks ahead. All right, now at 9:15 here in the morning, we're looking now at the next topic, which is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You know, the war in Israel is going on right now, and our allies, our friends, are fighting a war that basically has been going on for decades. The Palestinians are basically now at the hands of between the Israelis and the group Hamas. And right now they're trying to, Israel is trying to get those Palestinians out so that they can attack Hamas. When you really look at it, folks, and I'll talk about this in my editorial, when you really look at it, Israel is doing everything in its power to save the lives of the groups, even of their enemies. War is going to destroy a lot and take human life, but Israel is for the preservation of life right now. And if you don't believe that, then you won't believe anything. And you choose not to believe anything. You choose not to believe what you see on TV, the mass killings of 4,000 beheaded babies. And if you're the person that thinks violence is the key to solving everybody's problems, then you yourself need some major medical help, because it's not that way to solve the issue. And I know it's going to be a heavy debated issue when we look at it, but let's give you the conflict and talk about it right now. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has its roots in the late 19th and early 20th centuries with the birth of major nationalist movements among the Jews and among the Arabs, both geared towards attaining sovereignty for the people in the Middle East. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The collision between those two movements in southern Levant, upon the emergence of Palestinian nationalism after the Franco-Syrian War of the 20s, escalated into the sectarian conflict in Mandatory Palestine in the 30s and 40s, and expanded into the wider Arab-Israeli conflict later on. The return of several hardline Palestinian Arab nationalists under the emerging leadership of Haj Aman al-Husseini from Damascus to Mandatory Palestine marked the beginning of Palestine Arab nationalist struggle towards establishment of a national home for Arabs of Palestine. Amin al-Husseini, the architect of the Palestinian Arab national movement, immediately marked Jewish national movement and Jewish immigration to Palestine as the sole enemy to his cause, initiating large-scale riots against the Jews as early as 1920 in Jerusalem and in 1921 in Jaffa. Among the results of the violence was the establishment of the Jewish paramilitary force Haganah, and in 1929, a series of violent riots resulted in the deaths of 133 Jews and 116 Arabs, with significant Jewish casualties in Hebron and Safed, and the evacuation of Jews from Hebron and Gaza. In the early 30s, the Arab national struggle in Palestine had drawn many Arab nationalist militants from across the Middle East, such as Sheikh Izzuddin al-Qassam from Syria, who established the Black Hand militant group and had prepared the grounds for the 1936 Arab Revolt. Following the death of al-Qassam at the hands of the British in late 1935, tensions erupted in 1936 into the Arab General Strike and General Boycott. The strike soon deteriorated into violence, and the 1936 through 1939 Arab Revolt in Palestine was bloodily repressed by the British, assisted by associated forces of the Jewish Settlement Police, the Jewish Supernumerary Police, and Special Night Squads. In the first wave of organized violence, lasting until early 1937, most of the Arab groups were defeated by the British, and forced expulsion of much of the Arab leadership was performed. The revolt led to the establishment of the Peel Commission towards partitioning of Palestine, though it was subsequently rejected by the Palestinian Arabs. The two main Jewish leaders, Chaim Weizmann and David Ben-Gurion, accepted the recommendations, but some secondary Jewish leaders disapproved of it. The renewed violence, which had sporadically lasted until the beginning of World War II, ended with around 5,000 casualties, mostly from the Arab side. With the eruption of World War II, the situation in Mandatory Palestine calmed down, and it allowed a shift towards a more moderate stance among Palestinian Arabs under the leadership of the Nashhabi clan. Wow. The Nashhabi clan, and even the establishment of the Jewish Arab Palestinian Regiment under British command fighting Germans in North Africa. The more radical exiled faction of al-Husseini, however, tended to cooperation with Nazi Germany and participated in the establishment of a pro-Nazi propaganda machine throughout the Arab world. Defeat of Arab nationalists in Iraq and subsequent relocation of al-Husseini to Nazi-occupied Europe tied his hands regarding field operations in Palestine, though he regularly demanded that the Italians and the Germans bomb Tel Aviv. By the end of World War II, a crisis over the fate of the Holocaust survivors from Europe led to renewed tensions between the Yishuv and the Palestinian Arab leadership. Immigration quotas were established by the British, and while on the other hand, illegal immigration and Zionist insurgency against the British was increasing. November 29, 1947, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted Resolution 181, recommending the adoption and implementation of a plan to partition Palestine into an Arab state, a Jewish state, and the city of Jerusalem. On the next day, Palestine was swept by violence, and for 4 months, under continuous Arab provocation and attack, the Yishuv was usually on the defensive while occasionally retaliating. The Arab League supported the Arab struggle by forming the volunteer-based Arab Liberation Army, supporting the Palestinian Arab Army of the Holy War under the leadership of Abd al-Qadir al-Husani and Hassan Salama. Wow. On the Jewish side, the civil war was managed by the major underground militias, the Hagan, Irgun, and Lehi, strengthened by numerous Jewish veterans of World War II and foreign volunteers. By spring of 1948, it was already clear that the Arab forces were nearing a total collapse, while Yishuv forces gained more and more territory, creating a large-scale refugee problem of Palestinian Arabs. Wow. So, if you scroll down and look at the tension, this has been an ongoing thing, folks. This is not some war that just kind of popped out of the blue with the story of it. It goes back almost 80 years to almost to the World War II, even to the 20s. This is like the 100-year war almost, okay? This conflict will continue to really destroy the Israelis, the Palestinians, and anybody else getting in the way. And for what it's worth, to die for this kind of conflict is not for the preservation of human life. And unfortunately, this conflict has taken too many lives on both sides of the coin here. So as we continue to see this war being fought, and the war in Ukraine with the Russians, and everything of the world going into mass chaos, we are once again reminded that war is not the solution to the problem, but with this kind of attacks on innocent people, including men, women, and children, the story goes that you cannot debate, you cannot negotiate with a terror group that only thinks violence is the way to solve the problem. When we come back, my editorial, and it's a harsh one. It's going to be a harsh one. We'll be right back right after this.
Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens. Candy, party decorations, masks, costumes, makeup. Everything you need for Halloween fun now at Walgreens.
Ever hear of a gift certificate that turns into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what is that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1 and can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Nobody.
I'm Freddy Krueger, and you're invited to my special get-together. But beware, you may never leave. Dial this number now. I've got some grisly new tales for you. And if you're one of my lucky callers selected at random, you'll talk to me live while you're awake and safe. So dial this number now if you dare. Talk to me live. Freddy Krueger is waiting just for you.
$2 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
For Halloween, Toys R Us doesn't miss a trick, and the prices are a treat. We've got costumes for all Toys R Us kids, even grown-ups, and loads of candy, makeup, masks, and more. Toys R Us will make your Halloween supernatural.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
Tales of horror that will give you the creeps.
This is going to be extremely painful, Mr. Verrill.
The most fun you'll ever have being scared. Creep Show. Rated R.
Now playing at a theater near you.
Granola dip. I really dip. Granola dip. Chocolate and granola already in my home. Granola dip.
Quaker granola dips, a hauntingly wholesome Halloween treat. Chewy granola dipped in real milk chocolate.
Chocolate and granola, lose my self-control at granola dip.
The perfect treat for your little monsters.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where?
And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible.
Dear Great Pumpkin, I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night.
They're back, all the little Peanuts characters, in a happy Halloween special, filled with ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Our editorial today is a good one, but it also can spark a lot of debate, as most editorials would spark debates anyways, for most of that matter. We're facing really tough times here in our world, especially here in the United States, when we have groups of pro-Palestinians that are for this destruction of Jewish people. What's very disturbing is that, yes, these groups, because of the fact that they are here in America and are free to protest, are using this as an excuse to be out there and go out there and show that they think they can run and speak for the Palestinian people. They don't represent any kind of authoritarian government. All they represent is the fact that they are of Palestinian descent or of Hamas descent, and they see this war of their own people being destroyed by the Hamas, by the enemy, and yet they still want to see the destruction of the Jews. Folks, here's the bottom line. If you hate because of the fact that somebody else is stopping you from living your life, and you hate that group, or you show a violence or show any kind of a threat, you are a racist. You are prejudiced. And you can't be denied it. And don't think for 1 second that what's going on right now will not have an effect on you later in life. Okay? Your very people, the group of the Palestinians, your very people are being destroyed by a Hamas group of violent terrorists. They are heartless people with no brains, no heart, no feeling. Okay? That is true blood. Okay? That is unfortunately what we have to deal with right now in our world, is that kind of disgust. These people beheaded children. They raped women. They killed men. They dragged people out of their homes. And you accept that? How dare you accept that as an okay thing to do? That is inhumane to anybody out there. And you should be ashamed of yourself. In fact, you should be taking a slap in the face for it. You yourself need to understand that the violence that's going on in that country right now is not the work of the Israelites. Okay? The Israelites were always at peace from the very beginning. And it's the jealousy of the Palestinians and the Hamas is why they're fighting. Not for land, not to take over the country, but the total destruction of a Jewish population that all they wanted in the world was peace. And you are not giving it to them. You are destroying what they work hard for, which is to have a life of freedom, a life of happiness, and a life of peace. And this is why you are going to get your butts handed to you on a silver platter, you narc bastards out there. I look at some of those Palestinians and Hamas groups and I say to myself, these people don't work out in gyms. They look like they're skinny, malnourished individuals who weigh less than 150 pounds. They don't look fat. They don't look like they've eaten for 4 or 5 days. In fact, they look like they don't have eaten for anything because of the food being cut off. And yet the one thing that makes them so violent and so strong is a weapon in their hand. As long as they've got a gun in their hand, they seem to dictate how everything is going. You don't see anybody fighting back. You don't see any of those individuals taking the guns out of the enemy's hand and shooting them right there or shooting them in the leg to stop this endless war. No, you don't see any of that. It's like we're going to gather up all these people, send them on their way to these prison camps, and destroy them. And no matter what the United States does, or any of the good guys, these victims will fall to the terrorists because you cannot negotiate with a terrorist. A terrorist does what it does. It inflicts terror. It makes up lies. It never tells the truth. It's a narcissist. It's a psychopath. It's everything that we do not stand for in our country, folks. And if you accept this kind of behavior, you are one of them. You might as well be one of them. And like I said in my last editorials, I don't want anything to do with a toxic bum like yourself. That's right. Because we are trying to have peace here in our world. We are trying to establish harmony. We are trying to establish this, and you are taking away what was given to us by God himself, which is freedom, which is happiness, which is peace. What is the problem, folks? Why is it we can't have a peaceful world for once? Why is it we cannot have a normal world for once? Why do we have to live like this? Why do you choose to live like this? Is it something because you're not getting your way in life, little crybaby? Because you're not succeeding and not getting what you solely deserve in life because of somebody else? So you're going to blame somebody else's situations for your unsuccessful life. You selfish people of dumbass life. Really. That's what you are. You're selfish people. And to the Palestinians, at this point, your own people are getting killed at the hands of Hamas. And you accept that. But you blame the Israelites for this. You blame Israel because you got nobody else to blame. And for the record, Israel is giving you the chance to get out of Gaza. Take it. Get out while you still have it. If you preserve your life and want your freedom, get out while you have a chance. Because at this point in time, once that time is lifted, the Israelites are going to go in and totally destroy what they need to get Hamas on the run. And for the people of Hamas, you scumbags. You are scumbags. You are nothing but scum. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what any authoritarian person says. It doesn't matter what the president says. You are heartless. You don't care. You don't give a whoop. And this is why you need to die. You need to get out. You need to be destroyed. I'm sorry, but you know what? I look at it this way. If someone is attacking me, I have every right to defend myself. I am not going to give up to no terrorist group. You will have to kill me in order to get what you want. But you know what? When it's all said and done, when the man upstairs calls you to the pearly gates, you better be ready, you terrorist idiots, because when it comes right down to it, God has the final say of your sorry-ass life. And what have you done? Oh, let's see. I killed 4,000 babies. I raped 27 women and enjoyed every bit of it. Yeah, that's a sick life because that's all you were taught. That's all you were taught how to do from your parents and your generation was how to inflict violence and how to get what you want through violence. That's not life, man. That is not life at all. That is living a life of stupid stupidity. Stupid pitity. No pity for nobody. No care in the world. No respect. So we say to you, Hamas, we don't respect you. We don't like you. You don't like us. Too bad. You're going to get your butts handed to you. And we don't have to go out there and start World War III. You guys have already started World War III. World War III is here, folks, because we're going to have to get involved, unfortunately. And it's sad to say that we have to go out there and take care of the world when we can't even get our own country in order because of what's going on at the border and everything else in the chaos of the country. This is just another distraction for the big thing that's going to happen soon. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you this. You better get your news from credible sources. Stop looking at Facebook. Stop looking at social media. And, for all those people who are on social media and Facebook and you and your stupid debates and things and all this stuff, I will block you. I will tell you to go poof off, and then I will block you. You know why? Because you may think you have the right to post on social media all of this baloney. You don't. Because you don't have the facts. When you get the facts, then come back and talk to me about it. But until then, shut up. You don't have a voice and you don't have a say because your silence is better off right now at this very moment. For those people who think they know everything about this conflict going back 80, 90 years, I'd like to see those people actually post on social media, not the idiots who have gone to Harvard. Harvard. Yeah. The very colleges of life here in the country protesting pro-Palestinians. Shame on you. You don't even know what's going down, but yet you rather go out there and attack a whole bunch of Jewish people because of what's going on in Israel. Shame on you. Shame on you for what you believe in, and shame on you for getting misinformed yet again. This is a war of misinformation, folks. This is the problem that we face every day. Misinformation from our media mobs out there. And you know what? I think we need to stop reading the trash that keeps getting published every day out there. That's from the New York Times. That's from the Washington Post, the Chicago Tribune. All those papers need to be banned. And you know what? If you don't want to keep reading this stuff, you have the freedom to choose where you get your information from. Okay? You have that choice. You can either read the garbage that's continually being printed, or you can go find other sources that is not the media mob and go draw your own conclusions. That might be the safest way to do it. Bottom line is, folks, we're at war. And if you want to deny that everything is okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. And it won't get any better. It will not get any better until the governments of the countries finally decide to sit down at the table and start negotiating. But like I said before, it's a terrorist group. Hamas is a terrorist group. Hamas doesn't want to negotiate. They want to destroy. And the only thing they know is a bomb in their butt. That's all they know, is a gun pointed to their head. Take my life before I take yours. Who's going to take whose life first? Folks, sad. It's very sad what we have to see out there. The lives of innocent people getting killed for no apparent reason because of their background and what they believe in. Very sad. This is all a religious war, and that's what it is. The freedom of religion is being tested yet again. You can pray for these people all you want, but you know deep down in your heart that the lives of innocents, unfortunately, are going to be at the hands of the terrorist group. We can pray. We can hope that they survive and come out of this alive. And we hope that the helpers out there do their job to make sure that everybody gets a chance to cross the border into safe territory. We at DMS 3000 News Live take no political position. I mean, I may be a conservative, some may be liberals, but I take a position on humanitarianism and peace. And I'm sick of what I'm seeing out there. Yet I have to report on it. But I'm going to give you the truth about it. And I'm going to give you my opinion about it. And whether or not you like what I got to say, too bad. I don't care what anybody tells me back. You're not going to change my mind one bit. Because if I can't change your mind, why would you want to change my mind? Well, then, a lot of people would say, well, Jason, you're a hater. You're a racist. No, I have never been a racist. I've never been prejudiced against any group or religion for that matter. You can even ask my mother for that matter. And she will tell you the honest truth. The only reason why I speak it out against it is because I am sick and tired of listening to all the baby nonsense from human beings who say, I don't get my way in life anymore, so I'm going to blame the Jews. You sick bums. Go out there and get your life straightened out before you dare to blame anybody for your stupid unsuccessfulness. Get your life together. I've said this how many times? And you know what? The trolls, yeah, you like me getting pissed off. Well, you could take this to the bank too, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, I said it before, I'm standing my ground. I have every right to. And if somebody wants to come on here and debate these issues with me, I challenge anybody, even the guy in Michigan, the fat dude in Michigan, who thinks, hey, man, this is great. Come on to my show. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm giving all those trolls out there the opportunity to come debate me. And I'm going to put you in your place. This is going to stop once and for all, folks. The days of cyber trolling, the days of misinformation, the days of stupid assholes coming on and saying things of stupid nature instead of reporting the facts are over. You understand? It's over. And if you don't like it, you can leave and get out while you still have your sanity and your life. This is not a threat against human beings. It's a promise. We will do what it takes to protect the dignity we have for not only our country, but for the world and for God himself. That's all I got to say today, folks. Have a great day. And remember, be honest, be real, keep it simple, stupid, kiss, and never let anybody tell you anything less. You have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for more DMS 3000 News Live, episode number 58. We'll be here for then and for now. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Democratizing Network for great more content like this one.